After a week off, whilst I've been on Mull on a family climbing holiday, a lot of ascents have been going down, and today we'll be reporting on 3 of them. Max Milne's flash of Jerry Moffat's classic Font 8B, the Ace, Solly Kemball Dorey making the 3rd ascent of Aidan Roberts' Isle of Wonder Sit, the Font 8C Plus in the Ogwen Valley in North Wales, and 3rd, David Fitzgerald repeating Big Z, Lake Tahoe, America. First up, Max Milne has flashed the Ace. Now this comes after Ondra made the first flash ascent, which in and of itself seemed absurd at the time. Now perhaps the most surprising thing about Max's ascent is that knowing how dynamic a climber Max is just how sort of static he makes it look. It's like his feet are going to stick on a problem where everyone's feet come off. And he makes it look about 6B rather than 8B. The Ace was first climbed by Jerry Moffat in 2001, and it had been a project for around 3 years up until that point. The Ace is an extension to the Joker, another problem by Jerry Moffat, which was put up 5 years prior, and is a classic Font 8A in and of itself. Back in the day, the Ace saw early repeats from the likes of Ben Moon and Malcolm Smith. A young Tyler Landman shocked the scene when he made an ascent, and also the likes of British bouldering legend Andy Earle. In the years that have passed, it has become a rite of passage for any budding gritstone climber, with climbers from abroad making the pilgrimage exclusively to try the Ace. In January 2023, Ondra made the first flash ascent, with first ascensionist Jerry Moffat standing by watching him, either inspired, impressed, or potentially aghast at the ease of which Ondra, the greatest of all time, had completed his 3-year project in a single go. Max now joins Adam on that exclusive list of people to have flashed the Ace, and he had this to say about the ascent. Finally put my money where my mouth is and went up to try to flash this gem today. I've dreamt about it for years and believed I had it in me, but if I'm being honest, I still can't believe it just happened. Words can't express how good it felt to build something up so big in my head, lock it in, execute, and stand on the top of this one. In an interview on UKC, we asked Max whether or not the Ace suited that modern comp style of climbing, and he had this to say. Tricky one. I think flashing things does, as it's a skill I practice a lot. It's definitely a style which is super athletic, but those crimps are small, and that's not something often seen in comps. So it's nice to reconnect with my roots in Aberdeen and crimp the shit out of some small holds. Over in North Wales, Solly Kemball Dorey has made the 3rd ascent of Aidan Roberts' Isle of Wonder Sit. This comes a year after Solly climbed the Standstad, which was established by Pete Robbins at a grade of Font 8B. To contextualise the difficulty of this boulder, this is a problem that Aidan Roberts described himself as too weak to climb prior to making the first ascent, and so he trained throughout the year to make the lower shoulder intensive move possible. Upon making the first ascent back in the summer of 2022, Aidan graded it Font 8C+. Fast forward to 2023 and an informed Will Bosey rocks up, having just completed the 2nd ascent of Burden of Dreams. He proceeds to climb it using slightly different beta, most crucially with a higher heel, and suggests a grade of 8C. While Solly adopted for a sequence that was more similar to Will's than it was Aidan's, he has said that he thinks it sits at Font 8C+, the grade that Aidan had originally suggested. And this would make it the first of the grade for Solly. Solly had this to say over on Instagram. The war is finally over. A year and a half of training, 3 month-long trips, the last 2 being cut short due to injuries, multiple different replicas, and true mental warfare. In terms of grade, I have to disagree with Mr. No Creds. The idea that the bottom section of this is 8B is ludicrous. If that's 8B, then I haven't climbed anything harder than 8B. Maybe I haven't, but it took me 20 plus sessions to get through that 8B section, and 30 minutes to get back through the top 8B section. We're assuming that Mr. No Creds refers to Will Bosey, and again, perhaps it's a sign of the form that he was on at the time and the ease in which he did it. He doesn't seem to realise just how good he is, maybe. and is operating a different grading scale to the rest of everyone else. It's been great to see Solly moving up through the grades. He's made multiple first ascents at Font 8B, Poseidon's Wrath, his Font 8C in Cornwall, and now a repeat of Isle of Wonder at 8C+. What's next? Something cool. Next up, Ireland's crimpiest of crimpers, David Fitzgerald, has made the third ascent of Big Z, or as we'd put it in England, Big Z. The boulder was first climbed by Sean Rabitou, and in the words of Zar White, our editor, involves a series of technical bicycles. It took over 3 years to receive a second ascent, courtesy of Matt Fultz, who made a repeat just 2 months ago after 30 sessions. Speaking about the ascent on social media, David had this to say: "Finding it hard to wrap my head around this one. An intricate sequence that feels levels above anything I've strung together before. I first tried it back in 2021, and although I took long breaks away from the boulder, the spells of effort I gave over the years were intense. By far my longest chapter to date. A chapter that sparked so much drive and reason to improve that closing it now feels both surreal and bittersweet in a way." This is David's first 8C+, with 3 previous Font 8C ascents to his name.